Bună ziua, doamnelor și domnilor! Bine ați revenit alături de noi pentru a doua parte a emisiunii. Cum spuneam, vom discuta în a doua parte despre piața imobiliară, în special dintr-o perspectivă a unei companii active în project management. Vom discuta cu Optim Project Management, o companie cunoscută pentru că s-a implicat în diferite proiecte industriale, cum ar fi una dintre fabricile Arctic, sau în proiecte de retail și proiecte de hoteluri. Unele dintre cele mai mari hoteluri din piața locală au fost gestionate de aceștia la etapa de construcție și etapa de project management. Vom discuta astăzi în engleză cu domnul David Evans, fondator și CEO la Optim Project Management. Hello, Mr. Evans, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you for
inviting me.
Thank you for joining us today. As I said in my introduction, Optim Project Management is a company well known for projects in Romania on the industrial side, on the retail side, even residential or tourism, Horeca. Let's see, how was the year 2024 for you and for your company?
It's been an interesting year and challenging year. A lot of things have changed over the last few years within our business of design and project management, and we've had to adapt, but basically it's been a very good year with different new challenges.
What have you worked this year? Because we've seen on the office side, we've seen a slowdown in the recent years. On the residential side, we've seen also a slowdown. What has Optim Project Management worked on this year?
Well, we've actually changed our strategy quite a bit. So we are a design company, we are a project management company, and we've started doing a little bit of general contracting as well. So we're quite diverse. So if one particular sector is reduced a little bit, then we've got other sectors to concentrate on. And particularly because we're spread over geographically over Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, Croatia, a little bit into Hungary and so forth. So we're quite diverse and we can mix and match. I think some of our main projects actually this year have in Romania, we've been working a lot with Mr. George Kopos at Atene Palace Hotel, where we've been working renovations there, and I'm particularly proud of what we've done there, and not least because Mr. Kopos spends money, he expects the very best, and we give him the best. So quality-wise, that's been a very, very good project for us. We're also very busy in Serbia for Epic Games, where we have a fantastic building that we're constructing there. Epic Games, especially being known for Fortnite and so forth. So we're building a project there where they have laboratories, they have audio studios, they have film studios, and a cinema and everything else. So that's a challenging project. Also in Serbia as well, in Belgrade, we've been working for Cisco and building laboratories for them, actually. Okay. So that's been challenging, particularly on MEP side. Also in Bulgaria, we've been still are working on iTower in Sofia, which is a very large high-rise building, two buildings in fact, and one of them will house a Marriott hotel. Other ones, Polyvalenta in Suceava, 5,000 seat. And now we've just started recently the Dolphinarium extension in Constanța.
Okay, so
all of these projects are challenging for different technical reasons, you know.
So it seems to me like you're going for the most interesting projects. Do you have some sort of way you're choosing them? I mean, you're looking only for interesting design projects or something like this?
No, not at all. we're diverse, as I said. We'll go for anything within reason, and whether it's designing and building warehouses or retail. We do a lot of work at the moment for Momax and Lutz, where we're designing stores for them across the southern part of Romania. We're also doing much smaller projects where we're designing an upgrade for H&M stores. So
okay,
big and small.
For the Romanian market, where do you see the biggest pipeline of projects for the next year? We're looking for hotels or another kind of projects, industrial, maybe residential will be back?
Maybe. Certainly, Horeca, certainly hotels. But that's generally across Southeast Europe where we're looking. But certainly in Romania, yes, we have hotel projects. We've just started designing, or in fact, we've finished the detailed design for building permit for a new hotel in Bucharest, in Magheru, the Ambassador Hotel, which will become a Julius Menu living concept. And that's a very exciting project. So hotels, definitely. Industrial, we've always been very busy with industrial. We're still busy with it, particularly for Continental Electronics, in particular, both in Romania, in Sibiu, we're constructing at the moment, and also in Serbia, in Novi Sad. So industrial still, I think there has been a little decrease in the volume of industrial. But one particular sector, I think now, which is very busy, is food manufacturing, food and construction materials and so forth. It seems there's quite a few projects going on in that direction. Residential is happening. For us, it's not a particularly big market because residential developers, most of them employ in-house project manager. They don't come to us for the services.
Yeah, but a couple of years ago, you've worked on the ISO project in Timișoara, right?
Yeah, we did. We worked with Ovidiu Shandor on ISO. He's not expanding at the moment anymore, but that was again an interesting project because it wasn't traditional. We were actually purchasing doors from Germany, ceramic tiles from Italy, and so forth. So it went a little more than project management. Also, last year we completed Stejari Phase 2 quite successfully. But we have 3 projects residential at the moment in Bucharest of different levels of finishes, but they're ongoing. I don't. Maybe in a couple of years it'll come back a little bit.
Okay. Regarding the Romanian market, what are the main challenges today in all of these projects you've worked on? What do you think are the main challenges? Is it the workforce? Is it the authorities? What can you tell us?
It's definitely the workforce.
Okay.
Shortages of site construction workers, and that's all across Southeast Europe. It's not just Romania. It's all the way across. It is a big problem. It is a big challenge. Somehow we get through it, but it is a challenge. Other challenges, of course, are the obtaining construction permits at the moment in Bucharest, and we've had several projects where building permits haven't been issued as quickly as the developer would like. But it's happening. Slowly it is happening. I think other cities, Cluj, Timișoara, Iași are much easier to obtain building permits, and I think there's a lot more happening in those cities now with regard to residential than there is in Bucharest.
Yes, but you're working in other countries in Europe. In those countries, like Serbia, for example, do you get a permit fast, or is it comparable with Bucharest today?
It depends where in Serbia. I think if you look at Belgrade, then it is similar to Bucharest in a way. Other cities there, some cities, especially in Novi Sad, where we work in the northern part, the local authorities are much more progressive, and they're assisting developers to build factories or mainly factories in that area. So they're very progressive, and it's much easier to get permits and to get connections to the power and other utilities.
But how is it in other countries you're activating in? You said something about Hungary and other countries. How is it with the permitting? For how long does it take to receive a permit?
It could be 1 year, maybe a little longer.
Okay.
It's not terribly different, to be honest.
And in Bucharest, for example, how long have you waited for the last permit you received?
A couple of our developers have been waiting for 3 years.
Okay.
And maybe they've given up now, because when they started their project 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago, the cost of construction was lower than it is now. So maybe economically it doesn't make sense to continue with it at the moment.
Regarding the workforce subject, I've read in an interview you gave to one of my colleagues 5 years ago. You said that if Romania will use import of workforce from non-EU countries or from other countries, foreign workers, it will have a problem at some point. Or it will not be so good for the Romanian economy to rely only on the imported workforce. How do you see this topic now? Because in the meantime, we've seen a lot of imported foreigners to work here in this country, and they're helping the economy. How do you see the situation now?
I don't think it's changed, to be honest. I think if you can keep the Romanian workers, from what I've seen, they're far better than the majority of the foreign workers coming in. And the other thing with the foreign workers coming in, now that we may join Schengen, I hope, soon, but also with the relaxation in the foreign air travel and sea travel that came in earlier this year, what happens is a lot of foreign workers come in, they stay 6 months, and then they move on. And it's easy now for them to move on. So they move on to Germany and so forth. And I think, I don't know the facts and figures, but what I read is that a tremendous amount of the foreign labor coming in doesn't stay very long and moves on.
But do you have any ideas how can we keep the Romanian workforce in the construction sector in the country?
Probably pay them more.
Pay them more, okay.
Because if you look at the cost of construction in Romania, it's considerably lower than constructing a similar type of building in Germany and so forth, or Western Europe generally. It's cheaper mainly because of the labor cost.
So it's an easy problem if we look at it that way, right?
It's an easy problem, yeah, to pay them more, but then the developers, their projects won't be so attractive, yeah, financially. So.
Yeah, but you've seen in your role, you've seen projects all around the place in multiple countries. Do you think that if we pay the workforce more in Romania, there won't be a business case for the developer anymore?
No, of course there will be. Of course there will be. But there will be increases in the selling price of the apartments, of the retail per square meter, leasing rates, and so forth. So there will be increases, and I think as soon as we do join Schengen, I think we will see considerable rises in labour costs. I think the same thing happened almost 2 years ago in Croatia when they joined Schengen, and the hourly rates for labour has increased quite dramatically.
Okay, we'll see how this settles in the next period, and if Romania will join. What are your expectations for the Romanian market in the next year, in 2025? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges?
I think opportunities-wise for us, we're now moving towards, as many companies are, we're trying to secure more public works, because there are a lot more public works available. Ourselves, we're not into roads and bridges and sewage treatment. We're not involved in that, but actual buildings, things like schools, hospitals, sports stadiums. We're involved in a sports stadium, a polyvalente of 5,000 seats in Suceava at the moment. And as I said, we've got the Dolphinarium project, which will go well into next year in Constanța. So we are looking for more public works opportunities, which are there.
And on the private side?
On the private side, as I said earlier, I think Horeca and factories, manufacturing.
Okay, we're hearing from the consultants, from the brokers in the real estate, in the office market, that we have a need for more refurbished spaces, like the buildings, the office buildings from 2000, 2005 need refurbishment, need upgraded to be leased in the next years. Are you seeing this trend on the market?
Yes, it's happening. It is happening. A lot of building owners are upgrading their public areas and so forth. So it's happening. With regard to offices, we're working a lot for people like Google, Cisco, Accenture, and so forth. So we're renovating space for those companies within the buildings, but also the buildings themselves the owners are upgrading, definitely, in order to attract the tenants.
And do they succeed? Are the tenants, are the employees of the tenants coming back to the office?
Yes, I believe they are. A lot of them. A few maybe not. There's a couple of IT companies that maybe don't have as many employees back as they hoped, but a lot of the others are. Yeah, I think people miss the office relationships, the camaraderie, the discussions, the chat, and so forth.
The Romanian market, how do you compare it with the other European markets you're active in? Are we having more projects in the pipeline? Are we having less? How do you see the feeling of the Romanian market compared to the region?
Certainly, there is much more happening in Romania than there is in Serbia, and definitely more than in Bulgaria. With regard to Hungary, I think Hungary is probably a little ahead still. I'm not involved in Prague, in Czech, but I understand there's a lot more going on there. But Romania still, after all these years, still has a long way to go to catch up, I think. With regard to residential, there's still a need for a big need for residential. I think there's a big need for retail as well, and certainly the manufacturing, logistics, and so forth, and of course the hotels.
How big is the revenue, your revenue in the Romanian market?
About 7 or 8 million
Lei or euros?
euros.
Euros, okay. And how is it? How does it fit in the group, in the whole group? How much is Romania representing in the group?
75%.
Okay, so Romania is
But
important.
Romania is our market, really. Yeah, it's our key market.
Do you see opportunities in another European market you're not in right now?
There's opportunities everywhere. I'm
Okay.
not certain there's opportunities for us because we can't spread ourselves too much. We're looking in Moldova. We've got 1 or 2 opportunities there that in the early days. Croatia, as I said, Albania. Albania has, I think, Horeca hotels in Albania. There's 3 or 4 that we're chasing at the moment, and I think there will be big opportunities there.
As a last topic, I've read that Optim Project Management is working also in renewable energy projects. Can you explain what does it mean? What are you working there and where?
Okay, we don't build photovoltaic parks or wind farms or anything like that. We used to 10 years ago, but we don't do it anymore for various reasons. We are installing photovoltaic on the roofs of factories and retail units. For example, the IKEA in Timișoara, we put photovoltaic on the roof there, and we put ground source heat pumps. So if everything was working fine, IKEA there could be at 100% self-sufficient for energy. So we are doing that. What we're doing in a smaller way, we have a particularly exciting project we're working on for a NGO, whereby we're looking at geothermal loops, which is a loop of pipe 2-3 meters into the ground where there's a reasonably stable temperature. So we're looking at geothermal loops, we're looking at photovoltaic, we're looking at good quality envelope materials, and in fact, the figures that we've come up with, we think we can reduce the monthly bills for this building by 60% over a 30-year period, and that is an awful lot of money.
Okay, okay. So your implication in the renewable part, it's only for the projects you're working on as a, designer, project manager, and supervisory of solutions, of implementation of solution.
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people are working right now in Optim Project Management, and how many of them are in Romania?
We've got about 90 in total, of which 70 are in Romania.
70. Okay, okay.
70.
Okay, okay. Nice.
And that's a mixture of architects, of design engineers, of construction, of cost, and so forth.
Your team is bigger than a couple of years ago when my colleagues talked to you, and your activity as well is bigger. Thank you for for all the answers, Mr. David Evans, fondator și CEO la Optim Project Management. Good luck with developing the projects further.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
The opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank
Aceasta a fost emisiunea ZF Investiții România de astăzi. Iată, 2 discuții foarte interesante pe subiecte diferite, dar pe care vrem să le urmărim în continuare, atât ESA cu tot ce face în zona de recrutare de personal, muncă non-UE, dar și pe zona de, servicii, plasare de personal la retail, cât și în partea a doua cu Optim Project Management. Vedem aici că David Evans crește în continuare compania și apar noi proiecte la orizont, inclusiv în zona publică, dar și în zona privată. Urmărim aceste 2 povești în continuare, iar mâine ne vedem cu noi discuții și interviuri la ZF Investiții România. Vă aștept!